All right, call on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash, in the name Yahushai, coming back at you for another part two. All praises and you know what I'm saying, much honor and much respect and much love to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, in the name Yahushai, doing the best that I can in my part to, give Yahweh praises to the best that I can for the high holy day, which is starting tonight all the way till tomorrow evening. You know what I'm saying? And it's the new moon, so shalom to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, in the name Yahushai, for the high holy day. And we gonna continue in Maccabees when they were, not only taking over Israel during the story, but they was changing the laws, and it was a lot of our people that were wicked were joining sides with them and tempted into doing wickedness, and it was a lot of massacre by these white folks. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of destruction by these white people. So I'm gonna continue where that left off of this part two of the Apocrypha, and we are in the chapter of Maccabees. So it says, therefore, Maccabees chapter 1, verse 25, therefore there was a great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were, so that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. It says, every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. Because a lot of us that, didn't know, you know what I'm saying, the Most High had put that wrath on us, they didn't understand, why it was happening. A lot of them didn't understand. So, they was like, why is this all happening? Like, what have we done, to deserve all this and to have these Edomites, you know what I'm saying, coming in and out of our land, just ravage us and killing us, and we ain't doing nothing about it. We ain't did nothing about it. It says, the land was also moved for, and the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute into the cities of Judah, who came into Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceful words unto him. But it says, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute into the cities of Judah. So this is the Edomites, aka these Greeks, and they was taking over shit. So it says, who came into Jerusalem with a great multitude. So they came back into their land, and these white people today. It says, and spake peaceful words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel. Yep. So that sound like a lot of that sound like that smallpox event with the Indians. You know what I'm saying? That sound like the accounts that 70 AD. You know what I'm saying, with our people. That also speaks about the accounts that we do go through from day to day now today. They tell them, oh, there's nothing that's going to happen to our people, but every time we see a brother being gunned down, we see a sister being attacked, sometimes they kill y'all on kill cam and allowed to be shown, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, and they'll show you that shit, so, it's a lot of things that they'll do. They'll say peace but bring a sword, you know what I'm saying. That's what these white people do. So that one little verse connects to a lot of incidents that's happened with the children of Israel between, you know what I'm saying, the Edomites, you know what I'm saying, the white man today, and all the way in the past, man. So it says, the Trail of Tears, that was one of them, um oh yeah, and another one was the what did they call it? The burning of Black Wall Street, I do believe. When I forgot, not the one in New York City. It was another Black Wall Street that I forgot where it was at. But it was one incident where it was a Israelite brother that bumped into a white woman, per se, they said, and then the white woman went crazy and yelled out, "Oh, he trying to hurt me, he trying to rape me," and it caused like an outrage. So this Black Wall Street that the Israelites had created, and it was a part of booming businesses, and during that time of like oil and all that and shit whatnot, when it was all booming and shit. I do believe this was at the end of the Second World War. After that, and then they called it. It was so much going on with the children of Israel. The white people called it nigger land. So the incident happened is when the Israelite brother bumped into a white woman, and it caused an outrage among the whites, and they hated the children of Israel so much they ran in and set town to their fire. They killed a lot of Israelite brothers and sisters, and on top of that, they had their own bombs. A lot of these farmers had their own planes, so they put bombs and they put guns on their planes, and they flew through, they Black Wall Street, and burnt it up and blew it up, man. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, they was killing so many children of Israel that after they was done with killing them, they started burying them and burying them and burying them, and it was hundreds and hundreds of bodies from what I heard during that time. I forgot the location. I just remember the burning of Black Wall Street, one of the first Black Wall Streets, not the one in New York. It was one, not Jamestown. No, no Black Wall Street in Jamestown. I forgot. I'm sorry, retarded. This is why I keep notes. But yes, anybody will know the burning of Black Wall Street. It's a very famous story, and it's actually a historical record of just how terrible these white people is. They'd run up in your shit and burn your shit down and kill your ass, man. And just for one incident that probably wasn't even true. You know what I'm saying? So, um, it says, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children they took they captive, see, and possessed the cattle. Then builded the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. So they changed their laws, they robbed them, they stole their people, they took their wives, they threw them into slavery. They even put up barriers and barricades and put security around them and besieged Israel. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then it looks like that looked like the account today. Like, I wonder who does that shit today. The white people, they got their cops, they got them Democrats, they got them Republicans. You know what I'm saying? They got security guards everywhere. They got little police departments. That's them walls and shit that they be putting up so they can watch everything and doing everything. The white man is doing all that shit, man. And it's all over the world too. But mainly around the children of Israel, the bulk of America. That's where we at. A lot of us is down here. They got a lot of security. They got a lot of cops. They got a lot of things going on up here. But that sounds like today, back in the past, today. So it says, and they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. It says, they stored it also with armor and victuals, and when they had gathered together to the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare. For it was a place to lie and wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel. Yep, that's the white people. It's always been like that, and it'll never change. It says, thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it. And it's so much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. Exactly. That sounds like the 70 A.D., the fall of Jerusalem too. It does. Because everybody ran into South Africa and in like various parts of Africa. If we were not, like to tell you in the story, then the Israelites would be slaughtered and wouldn't be no Israelites today. But the Most High allowed them to get away. He saved a remnant while the rest of the city fell. So and allowed lawlessness and destruction and thieves and murderers of these white people to come into our land to where we couldn't even go back. We couldn't even go. And a man shall desire to go into the city but can't. You know what I'm saying? The same thing that's back then is coming now again today. It says, her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into a reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. That's that shit that they coming out with again. So what happened back then is gonna happen now. You know what I'm saying? But well, it already happened. But you know, with the mark of the beast, all one. Everybody should be one. Everybody should get the RFID chip so we can all be together. We can all know what, you know, they can know what we doing and stuff. That we all one. There's nothing hidden from them. They pushing that same vibe out on a higher level. But back then, you know, they forced us to abide by their laws, forced us to abide by their food. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do the things that we want to do. We couldn't even worship Yahweh the way we wanted to. We had to go into their churches, worship their gods. It's the same thing back then. It says, and everyone should leave his laws. See? So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. And they start pushing that on our people. Yeah, many of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. Yep. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. Made them eat stuff that wasn't lawful in the Bible, man. Like today, you know, bacon. You know what I'm saying? I seen a woman eating a rabbit. You know, alligator meat. I've seen that shit too. What's another one? What's another unclean? Shrimp, lobsters. You know what I'm saying? That is abomination. Stuff you're not supposed to be eating. So it says, they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. So what's going on today? We ain't circumcised. You know what I'm saying? You allow your kid to choose between genders instead of being what they were born. You know, they would allow their kids to choose whether you want to be a boy or whether you want to be a girl. There's nothing new under the sun. All these things happened in the past. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, now they in the future too. It's nothing new that these white people are doing to us and forcing us to abide by wicked laws and not by the laws that Yahweh set before us, making us worship their gods. You know what I'm saying? Allowing us to do sexual immorality. You know what I'm saying? Threesomes, foursomes. You know, sodomy. Sodomy is very heavy. You know, what's another one? To being money very heavy. Everybody got this want to get rich and I'm gonna make it and I'm gonna be a rapper, you know, kind of spirit. You know what I'm saying? Kids and idol worship. They want to be something in life. They gotta go to school, you know, to the white people school, learn their laws, learn their statutes, and learn their wicked ass commandments. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole dark side to the things that Yahweh introduced us to, because we went off and we made them angry, you know. So it says, and whoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, he should die. It says, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances, and whoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. In the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people. That's them cops, punk ass cops. It says, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. And that does sound like the Daniel event too, where they wouldn't bow down to that big ass statue, and they took the three holy children, Daniel and Meshach and Azariah, You know what I'm saying? And they threw them into the fire, but they didn't get burned because Yahweh Shai was with them. You know, but they didn't want to bow to it, so anybody who didn't bow to the statue would be put to death. You know, it's the same thing. Anybody that want to follow the American flag, they don't want to push the white man, they deserve to die. Or, you know, nowadays, well, back then it was like that, but nowadays they, you know, if you don't want to abide by our rules, our laws, you know, you could just go poor, go homeless, and, you know, be a bum and, you know, die off, and nobody will care about you, you know. So, you know, that's how it is now. Today it's the same thing back then. So it says, so it says, It says that many people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for secure. Now, the 15th day of the month. So that's the same thing too. That's racist as hell. That precept right there is pretty dark. You know what I'm saying? Because the Israelites, we are back in the days of the transatlantic slave trade. When we came to America, it was so many white people everywhere. You know, we wasn't even being able to walk down the street without being attacked or lynched or had a slander, or you can't come over here. You know what I'm saying? You're not allowed through here. What are you doing here? You know, we was scared to go certain places, so we had to go where, you know, small little pockets and small little areas where, you know, the Israelites was at, and we dwelt with them. You know what I'm saying? And we was driven into the secret places, into the ghettos and all that, and the slums and all that. You know, and now it's like that to this day. You know, you might have like a couple of, you know, Israelites living among the white people, but not a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? You can clearly go up there and see in the best neighborhoods and all that, and the clean neighborhoods and the little townhouses and shit. It's nothing but, it's the majority of them is fucking white people. It is. It says more. It says, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for secure. It says, now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side. So back then it was probably like Aphrodite, you know what I'm saying, Zeus, you know what I'm saying. Instead of Yahweh, you know, in their congregation, they would tear it down and put a big ass fat statue up of Zeus or Poseidon, you know what I'm saying, or some uh, um, wicked Greek god that they like and they worship, you know, or they put up different gods like Buddha and shit in the hood and all of that. It's the same thing, and it's nothing new, man. Like, them niggas just do horrible shit and force us to do horrible things that we didn't like. Not all of us wanted to get along with the white people, you know what I'm saying? Because they had the same imagination in the past. Like, oh, if we get along with them, maybe they wouldn't kill us. They was killing us regardless. They was killing us regardless. That's them weenie Israelites. That's them weenie wicked ass 2/3 that be like, yeah, we all just get along and stop hurting each other. We're all one. We're all created by God. We're all the same. Nah, man, you fucking weenie ass motherfucker. There is a difference between a black man and a white man. There's a fucking difference. There is, and they're gonna learn that shit again. In the next couple months, they will learn it, and literally, you can honestly say in the next couple of months that all this shit gonna hit the fan. They gonna know the difference between y'all motherfuckers real soon, you know, real soon. It's gonna be so bad during the crash and all of that, and afterwards when niggas is starving and shit, they gonna really turn to the white people, and white people gonna be like, it's okay, I'm hungry too, man, get the fuck away from me. That's how the children of Israel gonna do them white folks. Get the fuck away from me. You and your people did this shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you starving, you know what I'm saying, with me and shit. Get your ass away from me, because you white too. You still the same. Y'all started all of that shit. You want to sit next to me. The last thing our people are gonna want to see is a white man when the shit hit the fan. When they really starving and shit, they gonna be like, damn, they gonna really start thinking about the slave trade and reconsidering history and all that. And they gonna bring it up like, oh no, it's because of y'all white people, it's y'all fault. Don't nobody give a fuck about y'all. You better get your ass away from me talking about we friends and this and that, and I'm starving and shit, and I'm hungry too, brother. Man, get your ass away from me. They gonna be angry at these white folks, and it ain't gonna matter whether they rich or they elite or they fucking poor. It's not gonna matter. to the children of Israel. If they kids and all of that is starving, and these dumbass Israelites, they know one thing: the white man is in control right now. When the white man ain't in control no more and the shit hit the fan, they gonna be angry, man. And every single white soul is gonna suffer. I'm trying to tell you, man. The days is coming, man. Every single white person gonna get it from the children of Israel. They not gonna spare none of them. Even if your wife was white and your sons was white and you was a black man with a white woman, and those days coming, when these days come into play and it becomes a full red circle, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers ain't gonna give a fuck, nigga. If you don't have the spirit of the Lord on you and you was a speckled bird, you know what I'm saying? Or you had your dad was black and you came out white, but you still had the spirit of the black man and all that. You confused in the face. They're not gonna give a fuck if you're not covered with the spirit of Yahweh. They're gonna come beat your ass and kill you because you look like a white man. That's why I said every single white soul is gonna fucking suffer, man. You know what I'm saying? Even those of us that look like white people and we're not. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna matter if you're not covered by Yahweh Shem Al Shai in the name of Yahweh Shai Spirit. You will suffer, man. You will suffer. Okay. That's exactly what's gonna happen. In those days, ain't no black man gonna want to see no fucking white person. Get the fuck away from me. You and your people did all this shit and they destroyed every goddamn thing, and now y'all everywhere and shit. The last thing I want to see is a fucking white person. You don't get the fuck away from me, I'm gonna kill you, or they just gonna kill you on the spot. And white niggas gonna get it. It says Judah shall be a terror to Egypt, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. All these atrocities. These are atrocities. In the Bible, it's atrocities that the white people did, and the Apocrypha is the same way. It says, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. They was destroying the Bible back then. It says, and wheresoever was found with any of the books of the Testament, or of any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. So now the times that's coming to play is that, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have to know the Bible here and here. You know what I'm saying? Because the heart is just an organ. The heart is the mind is the actual heart. Here. You're going to have to know it here. You're going to have to know the stories. You're going to have to know the law, statutes, and commandments, because in the days that's coming, they're going to be looking for the children of Israel. And what's the most obvious thing that a real child of Yahweh, you know what I'm saying, will be carrying is the Bible. They're going to see Bible scriptures. They're going to see notes and notebooks. All that in these days and times will get you killed. You're going to have to leave that shit behind at some point. You might be able to carry it for a little bit, but when you see them doing all of that shit and doing all that wickedness and killing people for what they believe in, because they don't believe in the beast system, they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to be nothing about that. They don't want to get no fucking no jump shot up their arm. You know what I'm saying? They will kill you for the Bible. Back then, they was killing people. You know what I'm saying? Taking piles and piles of ancient scrolls, because before the Bible was the book, it was a scroll. You know, so it's taking the scrolls and putting them in one big ass fire and burning them. And anybody that was caught with the word of Yahweh, you know what I'm saying, the word in the Bible, you know, they was killed, you know what I'm saying, for that, because it was illegal to worship Yahweh back in those days. It was illegal, you know what I'm saying. Now today it's still kind of the same way, even though they could care less. But you know, through the grand scheme of things, Yahweh is the greatest threat to Esau in his world. So yes, Esau is paying attention to those of us that worship Yahweh. Yes, Esau is worried about the Bible being interpreted the right way. Instead of doing that Jesus Christ shit, white people ain't gonna care about that Jesus Christ shit. But like the prophet say, when you say you're a child of Israel, they gonna notice that, and they gonna have something to say about that shit. But they can give a fuck less if you worship Jesus Christ, and that, because they know that shit fake. But when it comes to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and Em Yahweh Shai, and you know the blacks are the Jews type scenario type term, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the white man gonna take that as a serious fucking threat. That's a threat. Now the Bible should be burned. Now the Bible should be destroyed, because now the niggers is getting too smart and they learn how to read. Now they learning how to interpret, and they know how to discern from things. Now the Most High is giving, Yahweh is giving his children of Israel to back that spirit. And you know, the white people's like, now we should never let these niggers read and figure out these certain things. Now these niggers know the truth. Now these niggers know who we are. You know what I'm saying? And back in the days of slavery, if you were even caught reading, you know what I'm saying, you were hanged, you were killed, you were burned for that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, these atrocities is coming back, my niggas. So, Best believe, you got to be prepared. You got to know the Bible here. You got to know these stories, my nigga. You got to know it here, all here. That's why it's good to, read the Bible, recite some stories, take time out when you can, read the Bible. Get into the book, love your how about Shemi Al your name Al recite, you know what I'm saying, them precepts and all that. At least know a couple of precepts in your head, at least know the stories in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be the thing. It's gonna be the life source. That's gonna be the Bible. Is gonna be the IV bag, man, and it's gonna be pumping life into you. Yahweh is gonna be the one that's preserving us. You know what I'm saying? In these great times of judgment that's coming, man, for real, man. Alas, for the day is great, and that is none like it. Is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Amen to that. Amen. It says. It says, and whosoever was found with any of the books of the testament, or of any consented to the law, the king's command was that they should put him to death. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of Yahweh. At the time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. It says, and they hanged the infants about their necks. Well, of their God, because it says of God. It says, I got to repeat that because this is what they've done to our children. This is what they do to us. The same thing they was doing in the past in ancient Greece and during the time they took over the world. It's the same thing they do now. You can pull up photos of, Negroes being hanged, brothers and sisters being hanged. You know what I'm saying? Indians being hanged, Mexicans being hanged, their babies being hanged, all that shit. It says, thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the altar, which was upon the altar of Yahweh. So upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of Yahweh. So they had idols in Yahweh's sacred assemblies. Like the Most High is a term saying, when you see the abomination standing in the holy place where it shouldn't be, that's what he's talking about too. So it says, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised, and they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore those chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. And there was a very great wrath upon Israel, because they went against Yahweh. So the Most High hit them, and hit them hard, man. The Most High didn't show us no mercy. He saw us as an enemy. So he allowed our enemies to overtake us, because we didn't abide the laws in Deuteronomy. We didn't keep Yahweh Shem Al Shai and Al Shai's sacred laws. You know what I'm saying? We went and worshiped different idols. We went and we ate, you know what I'm saying, different things we weren't supposed to eat. We was kicking it with people that was our slaves. We shouldn't be kicking it with them in the sort of manner that we was with them, you know what I'm saying? And we was over there worshiping them and chilling with them in their nations, and the Most High, we turned our back on God. Over time, we left Yahweh, and the Most High, in return, he gave us a real wrath, man, real wrath. If it wasn't for Yahweh Shai dying on the cross and reestablishing the covenant, the Most High would have saw us for an enemy. But it was through the grand power and will of Yahweh Shem Al Shai and Al Shai that he would allow his son to come and sacrifice for us and to establish us with that covenant, the new covenant with the Lord, man. For real, man. If it wasn't for Yahweh Shai, like I say in my old videos, if Yahweh Shai didn't come and die on the cross for us, you know what I'm saying? during this time when the world ended, we would all went with it. We would all died with it. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, like, no Israelites, no Edomites be saved. But no, we will all die. But through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai and the name Shai, we was in His will from the beginning. Before the earth was even created, we was in the will. You know what I'm saying? All the way to the end, we are in the will. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that can remove us. Nothing. Like Yahweh said, y'all etched on the palm of my hands. You know what I'm saying? We are a part of Yahweh. And in time, through His power and spirit, Yahweh is actually allowing us to go through that repentance stage, come back, try to hold the laws to the best we can. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and do the work. You know, be inside and do the work. You know, and most importantly, you know what I'm saying? Remember who you are. Know your enemy. You know what I'm saying? And know who Yahweh Shem Shai is in the name of Yahweh Shai. Know who your God is, nigga. You know what I'm saying? For real, man. Because the time is getting real. You got to stand on your own as a man. You know what I'm saying? You can't let people dictate who you are, dictate where your life should go. You know what I'm saying? Dictate how you should live your life. No, you got to be a man. Stand on your own and discern for your fucking self. Okay, whether I'm going to believe these people or I'm going to believe my people. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm going to believe their gods or I'm going to believe my God. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the truth about the world. Whether people fucking like it or not, you got all kinds of manners of wickedness in the world. You got, this world is fucking turned upside down, man. This world is in darkness. You know what I'm saying? This world is man, there's so much shit going on in the world at this very moment. It make me, like the Most High say, it's better not, you don't even go the fuck outside. You're going to see all kinds of wickedness. The Most High even implores that to the men of Israel. Like, man, don't be in a world like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a part of that shit like that. You may, like, want to go see a woman every now and then, or, you know, go out, you know what I'm saying, every now and then, but don't be in a world like that. Don't go outside like that. This shit is horrible. And we're going to re-innovate this, and I'm going to go to a part 3. But this right here is very crucial. Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. And there was a very great wrath upon Israel. So meaning that the children of Israel, they knew the secret. You know what I'm saying? Back then, a lot of us didn't know who Yahweh Shem Shai was in the ancient times. And they knew the secret, like, fuck it, I'd rather just die and then come back than sit here and eat profane food and worship these white folks and worship their idols and see the world for what it is. Maybe if I, you know what I'm saying, when I died, I come back, you know what I'm saying, and the world wouldn't be like this. But the wrath was so powerful, you know what I'm saying, in Yahweh Shem Shai, and He saw us as an enemy. So, you know what I'm saying, we came back and we was born again. It was still during the times that, you know, the white man had the world, and this was during ancient times, because we come back in the 3rd and 4th generation, right? So, you know, like, you know, on the 4th generation we come back, you know what I'm saying, and we were born again, and guess what? It was many multiple times, born a slave, still under oppression, still in darkness, still without Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? And every time we realize that, a lot of us brothers and sisters realize, like, damn, it feel like if we know the truth about the Bible, you know what I'm saying, damn, every time we came back a slave. Every time we came back, this white man was in rule. Every time we was born again, we was raised into this wickedness. We was raised into this darkness for a very, very long time. So we know the secret to reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? So we knowing that secret to reincarnation, we rather die, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully when we come back on the 4th generation of our people, the world will be a different place. But sadly, when the children of Israel died, you know what I'm saying, and they got reincarnated, we came back into slavery. We came back to see our people being destroyed. We came back and still saw the laws the same fucking way. You know what I'm saying? We came back, the abomination was still in the holy place. We came back, these white people still ruling over us. You know what I'm saying? We came back, and we still seen our people in wickedness. We still seen them going off, you know? It's a term you call hand-me-down. You know what I'm saying? You know, white people treat their religion like some clothes that they hand down to their kids. Their kids hand down this, they hand down that to their kids, and their kids hand it down to their kids, or an heirloom. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how their laws and their world was. They passed it down from one generation to the next. They carry it on, they carry it on, they carry it on. It's the same thing with us. So, you know, when they came back, the world was even darker when they came back. So it's like, damn, I'd rather die than be up under the foot of this white man. Maybe when I die and I come back in the reincarnation wheel on the fourth generation of my people, when I'm born again, I don't have to remember all this shit. But guess what? It all came back to you when you was born again, and had to come back, and the world was like this, you know. It was just like the way it is. Even at its max right now, horrible right now, you know. But back then they had to be reincarnated and grafted into that, because that was the wrath. That was a part of the wrath of the Most High. It wasn't no joke, man. It wasn't no joke. Calling how about Shemi Al Shai? In the name Al Shai, I'm going to part 3 of this, and this is Maccabees, and I'm gonna call this actually the changing of the laws of Israel, because this one is a straight up niggas is changing our laws, changing the way we live, all that. So with that, it's on to part 3.